Welcome to the Neoncast. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
And today we actually aren't doing a normal episode. We're doing another Jojo SPOILERCAST review podcast.
Juicy bonus episode.
Juicy bone.
For part 6 Stone Ocean, because Jim finally finished it.
Yes, part 6.
Stone Ocean.
Stone Ocean.
Yes.
So.
AKA Jojo in Florida.
Jojo in Florida was amazing.
So.
Actually. That was like. I wish that someone had just told me the premise, because I didn't know that it was going to be in Florida. And if I had known that, I would have like been so hyped for it.
I think the only thing I told you about was takes place mostly in a prison.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell you where.
Yeah.
But
the Green Dolphin Street Prison.
Yeah. So let's just talk about the characters first. Like the crew first.
Yeah.
So Jolene.
Well, first off, I want to give like just an overall.
Oh yeah.
impression.
So what's your overall opinion on it?
So I wasn't super impressed by this part.
Neither was I.
I wouldn't say it's my least favorite part, just because I don't like part 1 and part 3 nearly as much as a lot of people do.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some diamonds in the rough. There are some characters that I really, really like. Mm-hmm. Like Foo Fighters, we'll get into that. She's a really great one. Some of the stands are really cool. The villain is really good. I like the villain a lot. I think he elevates the part a little bit.
I think a lot of the enemy stands they have in this part really lackluster or just really dumb.
Yeah. It falls into the kind of thing where it's just like, oh, another one that's not that great.
There's very few good ones, I think, in this part, where the team stands are like way too cool than this part deserves. Mm-hmm. The villains they get.
Yeah.
So like.
But there are some amazing ones like Jailhouse Rock,
and
whatever,
Marilyn Manson was fun.
Marilyn Manson's one of my favorites.
And what's it called? And the only one the Son Dio stand I really liked was the underground one. I thought that was interesting. That was
they did a lot
interesting
with that one.
But like other than that, like even like with Poochie, like Whitesnake didn't get as much love as you would think. Like even with Kira, before they added Catgrass to his stand and other things to his stand, like he still got Killer Queen like normal to his ability and Bites to Dust.
Yeah.
Or Sheer Heart Attack.
Yeah.
And then they added, Bites to Dust and the Catgrass to it to make it stand even more ridiculous.
Yeah, that was awesome. I love Catgrass, Stray Cat, whatever.
With Poochie, they just evolved the stand, and then it was just like, you don't really fight the stand, the effect is just ridiculously stupid.
I did just want to stress one time, this is going to be spoilers for all of Part 6.
And other stuff.
Possibly spoilers for parts before 6, but if you've read those, then it's expected that you already know.
And also, there should be a giant spoiler casting in the episode description, so like...
so if it isn't obvious.
Fault.
Yeah.
So...
But yeah, I just want to say that before we talk about, you're saying like Poochie's evolving stand. I thought that was really cool, visually.
Yeah.
Like, because it starts out as Whitesnake, and then there's like the Whitesnake Green Baby version.
There's Sea Moon, I think it's called.
Yeah, Sea Moon, yeah.
And then Stairway to Heaven, or...
I think it's called Made in Heaven.
Made in Heaven, yeah, it's Made in Heaven. It should be called Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, but Made in Heaven's like also a Queen song, and that's why I was really confused, because I kept hearing it was called Stairway to Heaven, and then I was like reading a Maiden.
Yeah, in actual games it's called like Over Heaven. It's like Poochie Over Heaven, let's call it.
Okay. Strange.
It's translation stuff. So let's talk about the Joestar.
Yeah.
Jolene.
Jolene Cujo.
Spelled with a C-U-J-O-H.
It does kind of look like a Cajun spelling, like a Southern.
I'm pretty sure she changed her name. Just changed it so it's just like "fuck you, Dad" kind of thing. But like, so what do you think of Araki's depiction of a woman?
It was very rough, and
you like talking about her masturbating and like.
The first line of dialogue that we get with Jolene is literally about how she masturbated in prison, and a guard saw her and laughed or something, and then all the other girls at prison, or I guess she's in jail at the time, they make fun of her. And it was just like, this is really the first step we're taking with Jolene. The one problem I really felt with her, it got better as it went on.
She did get better as it went on.
Definitely. But it really just kind of felt like Araki wrote like a typical Joe, like crude dude. And how he's always like...
I think when she's alone, she's a little bit rough, but she plays off better with the other cast members. I'm being kind of confused with everyone, like everyone is, or just like shot, or Bach, all the guys, he's like either creeped out or she's like crushing over weather.
Mm-hmm.
So...
and she's also good with Foo Fighters, because she actually is kind of like maternal a bit with Foo Fighters. She like... is trying to be almost like a parent to her and explain things, and that's really cute.
Also, Jolene's you don't like her hair, but I like her outfit design.
I like her design, actually.
I thought you didn't like her hair.
Her hair is kind of dumb. It just annoys me because it's so dumb and impossible.
But Jojo's full of dumb hair, like Polnarf's hair and all that, and like Giorno's hair. Even Bruno's hair.
This is such an unimportant thing, or it just the way that it's dyed pisses me off because it makes no fucking sense. Because like you look at her hair, and so it's her bangs are dyed blonde, but then the rest is like that kind of blue black. But then she has like these braids that she ties around buns that are all the buns are black, but the braids are gold. Like
it's just manga.
I know. It's just the amount of time she would have to take.
Look at fucking Poochie. Like he had the lines, like the gray lines.
Poochie has impossible hair.
The hair and he has like facial hair that goes down into his eyes and like on.
My headcanon is that Poochie has that disease where you grow hair all over your body like a wolfman.
But only certain areas.
So what he does is he shaves his whole body like daily, but he just keeps like the weird like shapes.
And what do you think about like her relationship with like her father and everything?
Her father, who is Jotaro.
He's back again, dolphin fucker extraordinaire.
I don't know. It was interesting. It was very fitting for JoJo's. The JoJo's always have like
him not being the best dad, but still her like caring about him, even though like so straight up Jotaro gets his like stand and like memories kind of taken, and Jolene has to go get him, and she's like dead set on.
So he's out of commission from most of the part.
This is why Star Platinum's not there.
Yeah, which actually was a really good way of dealing with the fact that Star Platinum is like so OP until the end, where like he kind of gets put in his place.
But I don't know. But still, I like Jotaro like outside Part 3. Like he's better as a supporting character.
So much better.
Because at the end, once they get him back, he teams up. You know, he was like with everyone. Like he plays off.
One thing, like looking at all the JoJo so far, like almost all of them except maybe Jonathan are pretty bad people. Like sometimes they're not like evil, but they're not good people.
They're not good people, but they have the good right motivations. Like,
yeah, they still do what's right.
But yeah.
Like I mean, look at Jolene. In the first few chapters, Jolene like helps a dude hide a dead body. Like. This isn't the kind of hero thing. Like Jotaro is also beating people. I think he's
honestly, Jolene's probably the most innocent one. I don't know, like she gets like kind of framed. Her whole thing, she gets framed.
That's true.
So like,
I mean, she still did something that's pretty illegal.
Still a horrible person, but
it's funny how they kind of brush that off. Like, oh no, it's fine.
I mean, she spoils 6th Sense for like everyone in the prison. Like, what a bad guy. One of my favorite moments. Yeah, but yeah, Jotaro is there. He doesn't really do much until the end because he's kind of out of commission, but. I like his design. I think probably my favorite design for him.
It's really good. It's really for me. It's like a toss up between this and Part 4. Because Part 4, he looks so good in the all white suit.
I love the color though for this one. And there's a variant cover of Jolene kind of in like a version of that, which I really like too.
Him in like the. What is it? It's like the gold and like really dark blue, purplish. Looks really nice. I like that
like the brighter version of his Part 3 costume is usually pretty good too. When they brighten that up.
Yeah.
But so let's talk about the Joe Bros then.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the characters talking about it, we'll get a lot of enemy stand and battle, so we'll kind of blend those two.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Joe Bros.
Wait, let's talk about the main character of this part, which is Empurio.
Oh yeah.
Because he's the only character.
All right.
Oh, Emporio.
Well, the ending is kind of something we need to like go on separately, so we should not say the ending.
We'll table that for the end.
What do you think of precious little boy Emperor?
He's very strange. The whole thing with him being like a baby in a prison reminded me of Diavolo or Doppio, I guess.
Yeah, or it's Diablo, but Doppio is just like a fucking other personality he has.
Yeah, but like how he was like born in a prison after
like
being
Bane.
Pregnant for 2 months.
2 months.
This really did feel like a Bane origin story with Emporio.
But he was like a quiet little boy who had a weird stand of like ghost objects coming.
I do love how they use his like ghost computer later on. How he just like he's just sitting on the street in Florida like looking up like database bullshit.
Ghost
like,
computers.
Yeah.
Ghost Wi-Fi.
Ghost Wi-Fi. I guess it's the only explanation.
Yeah, he was all right. I mean, he didn't really get into play that much until like the very end, which I kind of don't want to go into yet.
Yeah,
because that's like a whole separate thing we need to talk about.
It was interesting when they have a Jobro that's not like a combatant. Whereas in like Part 3, everyone is just always fighting. The stands had really weird designs in this one, for sure.
All right, let's talk about Hermes and her Kakyoin, her Bruno.
Yeah, I guess that's a good comparison. She is kind of like the Cat Queen.
It's like it's her Jojo, man.
Yeah, her main.
Her official.
I liked
Jojo.
Hermes. Hermes is.
I liked her.
She was fine.
I like her stand a lot.
Her stand is one of the coolest stands, I think.
The only thing I didn't like is that so she had the whole Polnareff thing where like she went to prison just so she can get her revenge on the person who killed her sister. And
what's his name?
Sports Max.
Yeah, Sports Max.
Yeah, and like Polnareff, they got rid of it like right away.
Mm-hmm.
Like they solved his problem like really early on. His whole vendetta was kind of done in the beginning. Yeah. And just like, all right, now where does she go from here? Where Polnareff got, he got more fights, where Hermes didn't really get that many after that.
Yeah, I know we're not trying to go into the finale, but the whole like last few chapters, last maybe dozen chapters, she's kind of absent for reasons that like are explained, but she's kind of used as a plot device. But yeah, my one gripe with her is like they don't explain her stand very well, and there's parts where like so her thing is she puts a sticker on something, it becomes two, kiss, and then when she removes the sticker she originally put down, they slam together. But that also sometimes when she puts a sticker down, it fixes an object, because there's a part where she fights Sports Max, and she puts him in a pipe, and she'd broken the pipe, but then when she took the thing off the the pipe closed up, like sealed, like how Josuke's power works.
I thought it was just like she made the two pipe, then he got stuck in between when they fused back together. She got smacked in the middle kind of thing.
No, they literally like show the pipe like coming together, like how it really reminded me of like Josuke's. Yeah. That's the only thing that was confusing to me, and they don't really harp on it more than just the Limp Bizkit fight.
Flaccid pancake.
Flaccid pancake.
Yeah, sports. Yeah, that's it. Because like her whole thing is like with what's it called? It's a hanged man, just like Polnareff two parts gets like very much beats him.
Was that his?
That was the guy. The guy with the two right hands.
Oh,
okay. The hanged man with a stand with like the mirrors, and he took care of that. Which I thought he could have He kind of got the whole horse treatment where they run away and like get away and everything. So like Polnareff can still have his vendetta going. That's why he's still eager to travel.
Yeah.
Where like Hermes just like, oh yeah, this guy, I found him, I killed him again. I'm done.
The one thing with Hermes is it does show up later briefly. With Underground's power, we'll have to explain like all the bullshit of that. But
the Son of Dio's powers in general, like bullshit.
But there's a part where Jolene's trying to escape the airplane and Hermes is outside of it, and Underground makes Jolene look like Sports Max because Sports Max died underground. His memory exists within the Earth. So it's a way of freaking out Hermes so that they can bring Jolene back, Hermes and Jolene back. And it was really weird, but that was the only time they really they dredged that plot point up.
Yeah. All right. So it's really all we talk about Hermes for now, and then should we talk about Foo Fighters? Your favorite Plankton girl?
Foo Fighters was really goofy and fun.
Everyone loves Foo Fighters, man.
She was like a much needed like goofy character for this because she designated goofy character, I should say.
So. Yeah, your swarm of she's also a Stan, and she's called FF or Foo Fighters.
Yeah,
she's like a hive mind of plankton, I guess so.
Yeah, it's weird because they don't really ever harp into it. She has her memories.
They said had her memory, but it's like they say it's a swarm, like a swarm of plankton.
Yeah.
But like it not really say they're like a hive mind or just like one plankton that's able to control like other plankton as like a. But yeah, they did. Yeah, they basically. I like how the whole arc of introducing it, like she's like inside one of the. She becomes like all of them basically, like all the prisoners, and then she's basically the body that she doesn't destroy, she keeps.
Whatever. Oh, it was. I think that arc was just the Foo Fighter one. Yeah, like
when she finds like the hoard of CDs that Pucci made, someone like that Plankton to guard it, but Jolene showed it kindness and everything.
Yeah. That was Foo Fighters also had one of the best arcs in in this chapter. This part, I think. Yeah. Because she goes from being like literally an antagonist that's just like a mindless robot to like
learning.
Yeah, she learns like she starts to like.
I'm not sure.
Have an identity, like a self-identity.
I'm not sure even her last moments though. When she was just like back to her stand form, it was in the form of the girl. Because she got like her humanity and everything.
Yeah, that was really cool. That's like something that. You see that in a lot of like robot stories about like robots giving humanity, but never with Plankton.
Also, Jolene completely fine with Foo Fighters murdering like 5 inmates and using one of the meat suit.
Yeah.
I do like her trend of drinking water constantly.
That's
like
really
she's always
fun.
a giant
Yeah, for some
fast
reason in
food
prison
cup.
she just has this giant like
fast food cup of
yeah.
like water all the time. But she did like one of my favorite like fights in this one is Jolene in Foo Fighters versus Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, I was just
I
thinking about
love the stupid baseballness and like it's so good.
It was like the perfect. It reminded me like the Derby ones where it's like the stakes are higher than they've ever been, but it's a game. Like they literally, Jolene and Foo Fighters are playing catch, and
For
if they
1,000
fail to
catches,
catch,
right? Is it 1,000 catches or 100
it
catches?
started with 100 and then they like amped it up, and it was yeah. If they failed to catch the ball one time, then the Marilyn Manson would like rip their organs out and sell them. Marilyn Manson was another neat stand. It was kind of like a play on like older stands, but
Every part she did do like a variation of Derby kind of thing, where like its stakes are in a stupid game, and you like just lose yourself, like Jenkin Kid.
Yeah, they actually did it with the dude with the I always forget his name.
Lock.
Yeah, he had the heart lock in part 4.
But also with Jenkin.
Yeah, that one too. Like, oh, just fun.
Alright, so and Foo Fighters unfortunately Foo Fighters didn't last as long as people would like though. She died by Poochie.
That was a bummer, but honestly, it worked really well for her character because like she finally had like a great moment of like self awareness and self identity, and she was like, I finally become me, and then she dies. And I'm like, yeah.
After she kills the dragon kid, the guy, and everything. Yeah, she did everything for Jolene, which is really sad though because she was like a lot of people's favorite character. Not in any of the fighting games.
Well, actually, the reason why she dies is she kills Yo-Yo Ma's stand.
Yeah. But Poochie shows up and
then
takes away
her stand.
Darren disc, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, it was a bummer. I really thought they were going to keep her alive. I didn't think they were going to kill her.
I know. I wish she would last longer. So, let's talk. Now we talk about the boys.
Yeah, we can talk about them.
The boys. Who inside Emperor's little
Wait, one wasn't always a boy though.
We'll talk about him. So inside Emporo's ghost room, there was two guy prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them was Narciso Anasu. It was Diver Down or Diver Deep.
Diver Down. Which is a Van Halen reference, I think.
I guess. So he was a cop. Right? He's a cop, right? In his backstory. I still been a while since
I think you're right. Let's click on.
Because but in the freaking game they call him Narc Anastasia.
I think you're right. I think he was a cop.
So he has this weird outfit, fishnet outfit of shoes on feet.
Yeah, his design is one of my least favorite in all of the Jojo lore.
I personally like his stand though.
His stand is really cool, except I don't like the
snorkel.
Yeah, the snorkel thing with the air tanks in the back looks a little silly, but I get it.
He's also loves Jolene a little bit too much because I've heard you guys said the joke that he was a cop. He came home, found his wife fucking someone, and he killed both of them.
Oh no! Okay, wait, yeah, he's obsessed with taking things apart.
Oh yeah, too.
That's his thing.
And, he took both his wife and the person he cheated on him with apart.
Yeah, I found his girlfriend with another man, and methodically took them apart. Yeah, okay.
Only 12 years though. Only 12 years. That's how prisons work. I'm pretty sure you get life in prison for doing that much.
They would evaluate your psychology and oh, this person's clearly deranged. He ripped these humans apart.
He's also in love with Jolene.
Yeah,
he's like
crazy.
I'll marry. He's like Johnny Bravo with her, where he's just
he is like Johnny Bravo.
He's gonna be in love with her, but I
hate that design so much. I'm just looking at a picture.
So
of him, I hate him.
His first appearance though, he was a woman, and he looks 20 times better as a woman.
Yeah, his design as a woman is so superior.
I'm really surprised they haven't put that woman design in the fighting game as an alternate costume for him.
Just right over his character and just get rid of his character, make him a woman.
Yeah, so his fights really doesn't come in until near the end with Bohemian Rhapsody and
yeah.
But he basically has his bro relationship with Weather Report inside there.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun seeing. He did have a fight. Bohemian Rhapsody was stupid fun to watch.
Bohemian Rhapsody made me so mad.
It was stupid, but I just love seeing him and Weather Report's reaction to everything that's going on. What the fuck is going on with this?
Yeah.
Where the fuck is Mickey? One of my favorite lines, but
where the fuck is Mickey?
Yeah, he mainly only really the only fight I really remember. Did he get other fights? I can't actually remember.
He helped Jolene fight oh man, I'm trying to figure. It was like right before the prison arc. The solitary confinement arc, where Jolene fights the dragon dude. He uses his diver down really cool ways. Like he'll like have it punch the wall, or like he'll put its hands in the wall so that he can like climb up a wall by like grabbing its hands. And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it just like his whole character just like fanboying over Jolene. It's not really honest, other than his backstory, which you talk about him like disassembly thing. Which
they bring that up once, and it's like, where was this whole time?
But you think it's disassembly thing, like, oh, Stan would probably be like disassembling something then.
Nope, it's just a diver down. He just goes through things. Another cool thing they use with this stand is how he can like take a hit for someone. He puts his diver down in someone.
In them and takes the stand will take the impact.
Yeah, they still like. There's a part where he does it with Jojo, and Jojo still gets hurt a little bit, but he's the one that really takes the brunt of it.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I thought it was really cool. Yeah, so he's always just a fucking fanboy.
Yeah.
So I thought we really talk about Narc.
I didn't like him very much. Weather Report though.
Weather is
really
like
interesting.
The
character.
insane fucking character with his fucking bison hat.
Yeah, he starts out with no memory, so he's very mysterious. He's got the cool mysterious thing, but his weather report or his whatever his stand is like so powerful.
His weather controlling stand, and then we'll get into heavy weather later on. But.
Heavy weather was like I have a lot to talk about with heavy weather actually.
So let's talk about weather report before we get to that. So weather controlling power, but he also can make it rain frogs.
Yeah.
And shit.
And like.
You can, like,
Araki really goes out of his way to try and explain.
He's also the guy that Jolene likes.
Yeah,
to crush on.
Which is better, like objectively better.
But he shows like nothing towards her though.
Yeah. I would like to talk about his past now because that was like where his character really became super interesting to me.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about. I mean, before we go into weather, should we talk about Poochie then?
Yeah, well that makes sense. That's a good tie-in.
But anything else you want to talk about weather? Because he has like. Before we go, I can't really talk more about weather until you get to his actual path, which is with Poochie. So main villain is a priest.
Yeah,
Enrico Poochie.
I guess he's black. I guess you could call him black.
Yeah, he is. And then he's.
It can just be like a little weird sometimes with the art because you don't know what the coloring is.
Personally, love Whitesnake. I love the name Whitesnake.
Whitesnake is hilarious.
I kind of wish I saw more of it, but like.
I love the whole like DNA aesthetic that's got like the DNA letters all over its body. Whitesnake is a really cool looking stand, and it looks really cool when it becomes like the green baby, like Sea Moon. Like that was really cool.
The fusion one. He just fuses them. All right, so Poochie's the main villain.
They introduced him really early too.
Yeah.
I was really surprised how soon we see probably like the quickest besides like Dio and things like that.
So before we talk his whole motive, we got to talk about his past then. So before we go into the weather past, so he met Dio while traveling.
Well, this is before we have to go even further back to when he was.
Well, they showed that thing before they go into the past.
Birth. That's true.
They talk about like him meeting Dio talking about this whole thing to like I don't know how Dio figured it out of like this whole like evolving stand.
Mm-hmm.
Cause he didn't take all this bullshit to like do it. That's why Poochie's at the prison so he can get the shit he needs.
Yeah, well, so okay, I'm gonna try and recount it from best of my knowledge. I'm gonna go back to the beginning. So, Poochie and Weather Report are brothers.
Yes, mixed.
I think they said that Weather Report's their mother was white and their father is black.
Yeah.
So that's why one is black and one's white. Well, I guess technically Weather Report they're both mixed.
Yeah,
so.
I'm pretty sure it actually happens though, where like.
Oh no, it does happen. Yeah. It's a very weird phenomenon.
Even things where like you have twins, but one of them being yours and one could be someone else's. They had that happen before.
That's really weird. I don't know about that, but yeah, there can be there's things where. It'll be like a whiter kid and a darker skinned kid, but
in this case, whether it's white, pure white.
Weather just looks like a white person.
Yeah.
But so what happens is Weather is taken by a woman whose child, when he's a baby boy, her child was stillborn and she wanted a baby, so she just took Weather, and then raised him, while Poochie grew up in like this really nice privileged household, and they really didn't know each other, and then eventually.
When they became like teenagers.
Yeah, when they became teenagers. Poochie's sister, who was also Weather's biological sister, started to date each other and like totally got with each other. And Poochie, like he knew since he was a priest, that was confessed to him that Weather and his sister were related, but because he was so devout in his religion, he couldn't bring it up.
You can't share.
It goes against what he believed, so it ended up driving him kind of crazy. And also the whole thing with Weather Report, and eventually I can't remember exactly. Oh, the KKK come in.
Oh my god, yeah.
The KKK find out that
Poochie you want the KKK to like scare them.
Yeah.
Just but he finds out that that Weather is related to him, and they basically beat up both of them or kill both of them.
Yeah, it was crazy. Well, they tried to kill Weather, but this is when like Weather's bullshit starts to happen, where he literally can't die, and he starts trying to kill himself in various ways because he's so overcome with grief. But every time he tries to kill himself, he fails, and he like wakes up like away from where his body was. So I don't know if that's a way of like his stand.
Well, you don't get to stand until Poochie meets Dio. Because remember the whole.
But I think that happens before. So like then I think between that time, Dio had come to the town, and he'd given him the bone. He actually gave.
I don't think Dio comes to town. I thought Poochie
he did.
I thought Poochie traveled.
No, they do both. But there's a part where Poochie's a young kid, and he's just began his priest training, and Dio, since he's a vampire, he's like, I need refuge here. What if I told you that I can't go out in the sunlight? Would you believe me? And he's like, sure, you can sleep here for whatever until. Or it was like, you can wait here until the sun goes down. And then that's when he kind of like awakened his stand, sort of. It was weird.
I think Dio had the arrow, and...
Oh, he did. He gave him the arrow, sorry.
He did a sleep see if he was like strong enough.
Yeah.
And so, doing the sibling thing, that Weather also got one.
Yeah, because they're related. That's what drove it. So, really complicated, but... As you were saying, like the whole thing with Dio and Poochie, that's like one of the coolest things.
And then they have their relationship where they talk to each other, and then Dio does this revelation about Stan's able to, evolve.
Yeah. And this is the big bullshit. It's just like, how did Dio know that?
I don't know.
If you were going to be at this precise longitude and latitude at this height, like it was just so weird.
It's very strange. I'm trying to think.
Especially because evolving stands have been treated really weird throughout the series.
Like that Requiem stand?
Yeah, we have Requiem, we have Echoes. Like, every time they do it, there's a different, like, rule.
These Echoes, each act had different uses, only had certain uses.
Mm-hmm. And it was like the spiritual growth of the stand user that drove it.
And it's just like, it's weird. And also, the way you have to they get the stand to evolve is very weird and very convoluted.
Yeah, that's when it starts to lose me, the ending, because it's just like, it just feels like kind of bullshitty. Like, all right, first off, how did Dio know all this BS? And then
in his notebook, because remember Jotaro read the notebook, and that's the whole thing about like Poochie trying to get Jotaro's memory of the notebook he read before he burned it to get how to get the thing.
Because
diary.
Because White Snake steals both stand powers and also memory.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're getting a little caught up on just backstory here.
I know, but just talking about the backstory, they get to the characters.
Yeah.
And yes, but yeah, it's really fucking interesting. So like, I'm trying to get the list of like actual like requirements to evolve your stand. It's just.
Oh, I just want to say a little. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Go ahead.
I was because we were talking about Weather before, and we didn't really go. And like, Weather. Near the end, he like gets his memory back and becomes like a totally different character.
Yeah, well, Poochie steals his memory to, so he won't go after him because he finds out that Poochie. I mean, he does find out that Poochie was the one who caused it, and he goes after him, but Poochie steals his memory, and it's like, I can't kill my brother or whatever.
Because he's so dangerous as heavy weather, because he has a power that turns people into snails. Which, we'll touch on that. You can say what you were going to say, and we'll go back to that.
I want to say, what do you think of, you have to say 14 phrases. This is how you evolve your stand to, like...
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, 14 phrases are just retarded. 14 words. You need the stand to absorb the soul of 36 sinners. That's why they went to that solitary confinement, but had 36 people in there to kill.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then.
14 words, and then you had to go to the longitude, latitude,
it's
location, and then heaven will come.
It's just weird. It's just like, it's too specific.
Also, you need like the world was substituted with Dio's bone.
The Dio bone thing was neat until it became not neat.
So, okay. Let's talk about heavy weather then.
Oh yeah, okay, so
eventually he gets his memory back and his full power of his stand.
Mm-hmm.
So This is one of the stance people have issue with. It's heavy weather because the whole snail ability.
And it's ultimately like bullshit. Like
It's so it does like subliminal message. It makes a rainbow and it sends subliminal messages into your head to make you think you're a snail.
yeah, this is my big problem with it. I have a couple of big problems with it.
Go ahead.
So I'm gonna rip this one a new one.
Go for it.
So with heavy weather, there are rainbows everywhere. They say if a rainbow touches you or another snail touches you, you start transforming into a snail. We see this with Hermes. She's the first one to get hit with it. And they even go as far as to depict her with her eyes coming out of her head on stalks, like looking around, like she's
like with SpongeBob when he turns into snails.
Yes, it's literally SpongeBob. Okay, but wow, I didn't realize that was such a common thing. I'm gonna go into something else.
SpongeBob's always had a Jojo reference for everything.
But so the problem is with it. So it looks like you're being turned into a snail. Sometimes people just erupt into a cloud of snails.
You see and you feel like you see, and other people are becoming snails as well.
This is the problem. So how is everyone perceiving the same thing?
I don't know.
So okay, say Hermes is turning into a snail and she has a snail back. She has like the weird
shell.
spiral, the shell. Like, will Jolene see that? Would Jolene see her just as a snail? Like there's just too much bullshit. It was fine until they explained that it wasn't actually people turning into snails.
Yeah, it's subliminal messages.
Yeah, because for most of the chapter, you think that they actually are transforming, and that they need to kill heavy weather in order to stop it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was stupid. My other big problem, this is like me just being like annoyed that it was done better. So part 6, Stone Ocean, came out in 2001 to 2003, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I love Junji Ito. He's my favorite mangaka. He wrote an amazing story I highly recommend called Spiral, or in Japanese called Uzumaki, in the late 90s, before Stone Ocean. Mm-hmm. There's a whole plot point in Uzumaki where people start turning into snails, and it's not only done better, but it's depicted scarier and more horrifying. And it's like seeing this happen after that, and it's just like, it's not even like, I don't know, it's just not done nearly as well. Like, it's done, there's a part where Jolene's boobs become 2 snail shells, and it's just like, am I supposed to be laughing at this, or am I supposed to be horrified at this?
It's a fetish.
Apparently.
The Raiki's fetish.
Alright, I'm just gonna keep complaining if I keep going.
No, you wanted to talk about heavy weather. Keep going. If you
I really do like the idea of like rainbows turning people into snails. I just hate the execution of it, and the fact that they had to run away from like the bugs, because the bugs were gonna eat them. That was like the big threat, is like bugs were gonna eat them if
they're snails.
Yeah, but they're not snails. They're
still bugs humans. Also perceive them as snails then?
Yeah, but they're bugs. Like, bugs can't eat a whole human corpse. I guess they could.
I mean, I guess swarm of ants they could. A swarm of bugs can.
But they only showed like 4 at a time.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was annoying.
Alright, so
let's stop talking about it.
So I guess let's talk about the ending then.
Actually, before we do that, I want to talk about some of the other characters.
You want to talk about the villains? I probably want to talk about the villains after the end. Because that's all the main characters that basically are important to talk about.
Do you want to talk about the ending first?
Yeah, because the villains aren't very important other than Poochie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
any villains notable you want to talk about first that you liked a lot? Like villains of the week?
Actually, wait, let's do the ending first.
You want to do the ending
Let's
first?
do the ending first, and then we'll talk about everything else as a whole.
So Poochie gets, we talked about White Snake, so like he gets Sea Moon, which is that green looking zombie stamp. I thought it was pretty cool, control gravity and shit.
That was really neat.
I like that.
I like seeing how like the army was trying to deal with it, and they were just totally failing.
Yeah, and then he gets it to Maiden Heaven.
Yeah, so they're all racing to Cape Canaveral, because that's where...
The space station?
Yeah, well, the...
NASA?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if NASA...
It's probably would be NASA, but, you know...
Cape Canaveral's a real place, though.
I know.
But... So, yeah, they're all racing there because...
Poochie's trying to reach the location.
Yeah, that was, like, the longitude and latitude of, like, where he's supposed to get to reach heaven.
And during this, fucking everyone dies.
Yeah, so in a very long series of events, like Jotaro comes back, even with Jotaro using the world. His
face does the Boingo explosion he did in part 4 and part 3.
Yeah.
What's it called? Whether fighting Poochie, he gets killed
early on
by Poochie because Poochie blinds himself so he can't become a snail.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about that. Yeah, the weakness of fucking
heavy weather
heavy weather is if you don't know that if you're blind, you don't turn into a snail. Yeah. Ugh, fuck, it's so stupid. Yeah, but so the ending, Poochie gets the green baby. He ascends.
to heaven.
Yeah.
Basically,
so
he makes time go by like rapidly and
increasingly faster.
But like, yeah, everyone gets like picked off. Like everyone. Like,
he's also super quick. He is like super speed.
He can move fine where everyone else is like cannot like understand what's going on.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, so.
It's just. It's very confusing as it's happening. The thing that I really liked about it were like showing the rest of the world. And like there's a part where a guy was like making a long distance call and then like 10 seconds pass and then he looks and it was like 6-hour call and it's like fucking $3,000 or whatever.
And also like oh god, we can't keep up with these manga dates and like the guy in Rohan is doing fine. Moria is doing fine. He's like over schedule. I was like, okay, that's nice.
Heaven's Dawn.
But yeah, so everyone gets like picked off though.
Yeah,
like,
he's so quick that even the world can't fight him because all he has to do is wait for the world's power to run out because he's so quick that it's. Or I think they said that he keeps his distance from the world, so Jotaro can't do anything even though he does stop time. But yeah, he just picks everyone out. He just kills everyone except Emporio.
Yeah, like what's it called? And then yeah, Emperor gets because Jolene's able to get Weather's disc before he dies, and gives it to Emperor. So he's like, basically the universe is resetting because that's the whole thing. He's just making time go by so the universe resets.
Mm-hmm.
And Emperor gets away into like a different universe where like he gets universe hopping, and then eventually Pucci finds him in his universe, and then Heavy Weather's basically Weather reports him to death.
Yeah.
With his brother Stan.
So I don't know if this is entirely true. This is kind of my interpretation of what happened. So remember how Jolene meets Emperor right before she meets Jotaro in the exam room? I don't know since you read this.
Yeah.
So what happens is time starts going so quick, and humans are the only ones that aren't affected by it. Everything else is moving except humans, which technically they should all gotten burned up because the sun would have expanded and eaten Earth. But whatever. So yeah, eventually time like recycles or whatever, and what happens is everyone is now back to like early on in part 6, and the people that died have no recollection, but the people that survived are all naked with their clothes on the floor. So Emperor is a naked little boy in a trash can, and then because that's where we introduce him in the trash can, and then he like finds his own clothes on the ground, and then you see some of the prison guards are like naked too, and they put their clothes back on. So then, but Jolene and Jotaro have no idea what happened because they both died, and then they're just like, oh, we're going to meet each other. And that's when Emperor sees Pucci, and that's when he like confronts Pucci and kills him. But for some reason, Emperor gets thrown into another world, and then this is where we meet Jolene as Irene.
Well, after he kills Pucci with other report, but he like suffocates him basically.
Oh yeah, that was really cool. He like. Weather Report just has like every OP power.
But he increased the amount of oxygen in the room.
Yeah, that was really cool actually. That was a very innovative way.
Yeah, so yeah.
Using his power.
He's saying Emperor walks out and he meets Irene, who had the Digital Star. He looks like Jolene. Yeah. She had the birthmark, and Anasu's also equivalent. So he gives you another universe. People call it the Irene-verse, but it just ends like the other universe not there anymore.
Yeah, well that's the thing though. This is what I think happens. I think that the JoJo universe that we knew and we had grown accustomed to, I think that still exists. Emperor just gets tossed into another one. Because Pucci goes on this really long rant about how, like, this is the ideal world. Everyone has seen their future. Everyone knows if they're going to die from certain diseases. And, like, he goes on, like, everyone knows, like, the moment that they're going to fall in love. And it's a really weird rant, and he says, no, this is the perfect world, this is heaven that we live in, because we know the future. But that's when Emperor is like, you killed my friends, prepare to die, and then he kills him. But Emperor is the only one that we see get thrown. There's like a scene where he's like an ant, like Emperor is like depicted as an ant that gets picked up and put in another area, and then he's in the desert, and then like we have this really great scene at the end that I actually really like, where Jolene is and Anasu, they're counterparts in the other dimension, are like driving down the road and they're picking up all the characters from part 6 as like they're still together in like a different way, even though they all died.
They're not the same people though.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's very like poetic in a weird way, and it was very sad.
A lot of people have issues with this part with the ending. So
yeah, I was very depressed at first actually.
Bittersweet. The thing I didn't like, cause just like all the shit that happened in like the other parts though are just for nothing now.
That was my initial takeaway.
Because like the whole fighting Dio save Holly now is useless. Everyone's dead. Part 4, stopping serial killer in Moria.
Yeah.
Nothing, because they're all dead anyway. Maybe except Rohan, if he wrote, "I will not go slow down in time" on his face.
Rohan could actually fight that. He's like.
I'm pretty sure the George Joestar PDF thing is about like that universe and the only people who survive are Giorno and Rohan.
That's yeah. I don't know anything about that. This is like what I was speculating, is like because it shows that there were people that survived and came back to like the time before like shit hit the fan. I think that it's supposed to imply that universe still keeps going. It's just Emperor is now in a different universe.
I saw it at like he made time go by that universe and everyone like ended and everything just rebooted in that universe and just like in a parallel universe took its place and that's where Emperor is. So I thought Emperor is there.
Yeah.
And like
that's like I don't know. There's a lot that's open to interpretation. I think.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even really matter in the end because we're probably never going to see this universe again.
Yeah. And people thought, it did part 7 of Tides maybe take place in that universe or something, but it's just a separate universe in general.
Yeah, so it's almost as if, like, it doesn't really matter. But it is really depressing, especially because, like, before this part, we just had Giorno and his whole adventure about, like, becoming the king of the mafia, and now, like, is he dead? Is it that universe still existing? Like, I would seriously love, if anyone's listening to this, please give me your input. I would love to know if anyone has a different idea, because it is just kind of depressing to think that the universe is now end.
Alright. So, yeah, it's kind of bittersweet ending, but...
That's the thing, though. I really did love the ending. Like, I had, like, a tear in my eye, like, as, like, because it starts raining as they're in the car, and they're like, oh, we have to pick that person up, and they pick up Hermes. Like, oh, we have to pick that person up, and it's weather report, and it's like, it was just like, there was somewhere where, like, these characters are still all together, and that felt really nice.
They're still drawn together. The characters, so yeah.
Exactly.
Because stand users are always connected to each other. I guess even when
gravity.
Even when they don't have a stand, I guess they're still connected to each other.
Yeah.
So, do we talk about some of the other like villains of the week?
Yeah.
Should we,
Guess. I thought Guess was really funny.
Goo Goo Dolls.
Goo Goo Dolls.
Another shrinking stand that they have in like every part now.
Except they fixed it with her.
Well, it's just like if you don't do what she tells you to.
Yeah, and it needs to be. I think it has like a limited duration and like a limited range. Green Baby was another shrinking stand. That was a really cool one.
2 shrinking stands though. What's actually before we talk about the other ones, let's talk about the 3 main actual important villains of the week.
Oh, like the Sons of Dio.
The Sons of Dio that have really stupid convoluted stands.
Really cool idea, not so great execution.
They dick tease Giorno but never actually bring him in.
Yeah, that was really upsetting because Giorno's like one of my favorite characters. So
they literally say like maybe it's just like rumor had it's like an Italian mobster in the area. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
And they're like, no.
And it even explains, like, as you were saying, the whole the stand users gravitate to each other. They even say like they were drawn there.
The Sons of Dio are attracted to like the Dio bone being like merged with Fuji.
And it was almost like a supernatural thing. It wasn't like they were gotten like invitation. Like they all appear.
Well, and also when Fuji merged with the Dio bone, that's why he grew the star and so did Weather because they're related.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if you realize that.
Yeah, at first it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then it eventually did later.
So we had the first Son of Dio we met was Ungalo, aka Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, his design's hilarious. He just looks like a rat kid.
So we say Bohemian Rhapsody.
That made me really angry, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
I did enjoy the part of Kenshiro fighting in
that was Japan. Cute. That was a cute little reference.
Spider-Man appears. Mickey.
Yeah.
Pinocchio.
It was just like
Vincent Van Gogh was a side character.
It made this the way the chapter was told. Like the stand power is weird, and they could have done a good job with it. But the way that the chapters were told, it was like a really long part of part 6. I was just so done with it. I was really angry at how long it was taking, and like. I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
I mean, its range is infinite.
Okay, I actually read a funny post about that. Someone said like, okay, since the stand arrows come from an alien civilization. Do you think that there were aliens that had like fictional characters that they had to deal with because technically the whole world was affected?
I think it's whatever on their planet, the fictional characters they have on their planet.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty funny. So which one was the underground guy then?
He was
the Donatello.
Fuck. I didn't.
I'll look it up. Or Donatello versus.
You might be right. Or was it Romeo?
Romeo was the boyfriend.
Oh, it was the boyfriend.
Yeah, he had Underworld.
Who was it?
Donatello.
Oh, Donatello versus. Because I didn't know his name was Donatello. He's Versace.
Yeah.
With all the characters are named after fashion in this.
So.
Fashion icons.
Yeah, he had the best stand out of the three.
Yeah, because it was him, Jungali A, who was the Rods.
I'll get into that. Yeah, I have a thing about Rods.
Yeah, I thought Underground was cool. It kind of felt like a Giorno, where it was just like there was so much BS that he can do anything.
Because he can like make past events, like recreate them underground.
Yeah. So yeah, if anything, like the ground has a memory, and if there's anything that transpired in the ground, he can like dredge that memory up and like create.
Like the whole thing, he gets like a bunch of them trapped underground in like the subway with like a plane that crashed.
Yeah.
And they had to like start doing all the research. It doesn't Emperor if you pull out a laptop.
Yeah, he does. He literally pulls out his it's not even a laptop. It's like a big ass like old computer. And yeah, he looks up the flight manifest. That was a cool way how they fought him. Like, they had to find the 2 seats that people survived in.
Yeah.
And then fucking Underworld just threw, like, 10 kids down there, and it was like, all right, you have to either give your seats to these kids. It was 3 kids. It was like, either give the seats to these kids and let them live, and you die, or you kill these kids. And, of course, Jolene used to stand for
I thought Kiss also... They used her and Kiss together to, like, get them out, because he, like...
Yeah, I think they made, like, more seats out of it or something.
Yeah, they made the same seat.
They used a lot of their stand bullshit. Jolene also went inside of Hermes. She became string and went inside.
Yeah, was Anisu with them during that? No, they were fighting. They were too busy with.
They were too busy broing out and just finding girls.
And Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
That was probably the best one though.
I was surprised at how long he lasted. Like, he stuck around. Versace stuck around for a very long time, and they kept fighting. Like the whole part where they're turning into snails, they were chasing him pretty much, and fighting him.
I thought that was Jungali because he also showed up because he kicked the Poochie, and then Jungali's like, I'll take care of these guys, like, and he fights them with rods.
They fight him. No, that was earlier. Jungali appears earlier because
he's blind. Huh? He's a blind assassin. Oh, he's the one that framed Jolene. No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's the one with the gun.
Yeah.
when her and
I'm sorry. Yeah, they put the characters in a weird order on this list.
Go down.
Who was it then?
Go down.
It wasn't Lang Wrangler.
It
might have been. Oh, Dolce & Gabbana was Survivor, or no, it was Yo-Yo Ma. What I want to talk about.
Yeah. Well, you love Yo-Yo Ma.
Was it Westwood?
No, not Westwood. Westwood was the guard that got to stand. It may be Raquel, the guy with the fucking cowl thing on his head.
Oh, it was Raquel. Okay.
Underworld was inspired by Iraqi's fascination with psychology along with social issues at the time.
Interesting.
Yeah, so then we go on to Raquel, who was... I hate to stand because rods are proven to not be real.
It's literally a video glitch.
Yeah, it's really a camera glitch or a camera issue of like a line being caught on the screen.
Yeah, if like a bug flies by really quick, it'll be tracked as like a whole like line, like a rod.
And so how you know how Iraqi did like the science of birds, he did the science of rods and it did not work. It's so stupid. Rods are dumb. And basically what was the thing, like they're trying to the heat or what?
Yes, they feed on heat. That was the thing.
Sky High.
This
great movie.
This bullshit made me so mad.
Which one? Yeah.
Create illnesses.
I forgot about that.
So the rods create illnesses, and so they're in an air. Like the Joe Bros are in a helicopter when he starts attacking, and then he ends up crashing the helicopter. But there's a part where they don't know what's happening because the rods move so quick they can't see them, and Hermes looks at her hands and. Her one hand is double the size of her other hand because the rods put a disease in her hand that made her hand big. I'm not kidding.
I know.
The bullshit of like the diseases got so out of hand, and it was like it doesn't make any sense.
Controlling rods.
And it was so unnecessary. Just have him like use the rods to attack.
I hate his design as well. Look how big his neck looks.
I know. I really don't like his design. He was another like fucking abortion of a character.
He is like a bastard son of Dio.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to talk about him because I hate him. But I hate the idea of rods being a.
We need to move on. We're spending enough time on the bullshit.
So let's talk. I guess we talked about Marilyn Manson before.
That was a fun one. Oh, I do want to talk about Yo-Yo Ma.
There's three. I think there's at least three more scenes that are worth it to talk about. So yeah, you talk about Yo-Yo Ma.
Yo-Yo Ma was awesome, and I know people don't like him, but they have no taste.
I thought I liked it.
It was
interesting for a stand.
It was for a stand battle because it really was a stand battle. It was such a cool thing. So like the premise was, there was like the green baby before it like hatched from its egg or whatever, and like Jolene and Anasui had to
on a fan boat.
Yeah, they had to leave on a fan boat, and for some reason, Dolce and Gabbana or D&G, when he got beat up, his stand activated, and it was Yo-Yo Ma, this horrifying like corn man who is like terrible, and he eats like garbage, and he does whatever you want him to do, but when you turn your back, he like his like saliva like melts you, but. He compares it like Rocky compares it to a mosquito. How like when a mosquito stings you, it numbs your skin so you don't feel it. So what it does is
you don't realize you're being
once you realize you're fucked, it's too late. So what he does is he eats mosquitoes, and then the mosquitoes have the acid in them, and then he sends them to Jolene's tongue, so that her tongue is like destroyed and she can't speak.
I love his design.
He looks like a corn man.
He also has like the German like World War I helmet.
Because Dolce and Gabbana has it too.
So I love when they stand users the stand just look like them.
Yeah, see, like he also has the eye patch too that.
I like that when the stand actually
reflects
mirrors,
them. Yeah, that's really cool.
Like when Paul Narf had his in the wheelchair, he had his Silver Chariot had the legs missing as well.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, he was. I thought it was really cool. It was a very innovative stand fight, and it was just like also a hilarious name.
You also can like every time they try to beat him up, he can just regenerate.
Oh yeah, he's totally indestructible. The only way to beat him was to have Foo Fighters kill the stand user.
Yes, unfortunately that was a sacrifice, but
yeah. Do you want to talk about anyone else? I'm kind of reaching my limit.
Well, Sports Max,
Limp Bizkit
or Flaccid Pancake in the Americas, Invisible Zombies.
Yeah, they were like invisible ghost zombies too. It was even worse.
His stand activated like the dude from part 5 who once he dies the stand activate and he becomes a ghost as well.
Yeah.
Sports also was a ghost.
Well, I'm trying to remember because I think they stop it by killing him.
They kill him again.
No, yeah, they kill him twice. They had to kill his ghost form, I think.
Yeah, because they kill him and they made like the ghost alligators and everything and like.
That was another I didn't like the way they handled that.
There's also like Hermes revenge thing. There's a little funny one chapter one Highway to Hell was pretty funny.
Highway to Hell was actually a funny one.
Where he hurts himself, you person he's next to
and because he has no memory because it was taken from him, he's just constantly trying to commit suicide. So Hermes is fighting this man that's trying to kill himself.
Because he's so depressed. Because she insults him, he gets really depressed and tries to kill himself.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I've never had a girlfriend before. Oh, that's also one of my favorite parts where, in order to not have him kill himself, Hermes says, "Oh, I'll give you my panties. If I give you my panties, maybe you won't kill yourself, you fat fuck."
He's like, okay.
He's like, okay, and then immediately starts trying to drown himself.
So, probably my favorite fights of part 6 though is what's her name? Jailhouse Lock.
Jailhouse Lock was fucking awesome. That was like
Memento, the stand fight.
Hands down the best fight in the whole part.
The best moments of Jolene walking into the prison movie watching. It's like, oh, it's Sixth Sense. It's when Bruce Willis is dead at the end. It is
like at the same time the coolest stand power and also the most terrifying because
you can only remember 3 things.
Yeah,
and your arm is written like, my name is Jolene.
Mm-hmm.
There's a stand user that's attacking me right now.
And it was like, go meet Emperor.
Go meet Emperor was like you can only remember 3 things.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had
which is a thing in itself.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting. But that's probably one of my favorite ones. Best fight, best
Yeah, it was so cool. Because at first it starts out with Jolene sees her and then tries to attack her, and then she wakes up, and then Jolene's like, "What happened?" And then her jailmate's like, yeah, that was like 2 days ago. So it flash forwards 2 days. Like Jolene has literally been unable to do anything. She could, because she can only remember 3 things. She hasn't made any progress into finding her stand. And then like Jailhouse Lock, all she has to do is just like make sure that Jolene doesn't get close to anyone else. Awesome.
I like the amount of female stand users they had in this part too, like enemy and friendly. It was kind of a nice like mix of everyone in this chapter.
Yeah.
I mean, so we're not gonna talk about the dragon
No,
piece of shit.
Yeah, stupid dumb.
And like I forget the prison guard guy who made people want to fight each other.
Survivor's dumb. Yeah, it made you like see people's like weaknesses. It was weird.
Yeah. I don't even remember what the fucking that guy was.
Wait, which one?
Like Guccio, whatever his name is, the skinny old Bruno looking motherfucker.
I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember what he was. You want to be ugh, gross. Ability, go down. He was Survivor.
Oh, he was Survivor.
Okay, I thought the prison guard guy was Survivor. Show you it shows you how forgettable these fucking. Where like I remembered like almost like a lot, like almost all of these stands from Part 5 and Part 4.
Yeah, Part 5 has amazing stands.
Part 6 is like really forgettable. Like Thunder, the Vivio.
What was I looking at?
Thunder McQueen. That's
Thunder McQueen was Highway to Hell. Okay.
Yeah. Lightning McQueen. He's actually the inspired cars. Yeah, they got the next one, Westwood. He was like the guard that got a stand, and like.
I'm trying to remember what his stand is.
Planet Wave.
The meteor.
I forgot about the meteors.
Yeah, that was dumb. I don't like it.
Yeah, like meteor power. I remember there's a guy in One Piece who's like a blind. He's high. Like, he's like an admiral for the military, and like he's just blind. But since he doesn't really see, he just summons like meteors out of the sky. And like at one point, like 3 of the pirates are right there, and like he just summons all these meteors. It's just a giant crater, except for because all the guys have like bullshit around them, like powers to survive. So like the one guy like sliced it up, so just like little platforms of all 3 of them standing there, and it's like it's fucking awesome. But like this guy was like forgettable.
Yeah, no, it was dumb.
Yeah, so
yeah.
It shows you what Part 6 is kind of forgettable when it comes to like the enemy stands for a very select few.
Yeah.
Like the Joe Bro stands are a lot more interesting than the actual like villain stands they get.
I really agree.
So overall, what do you think? Like rank it among the other ones?
It's definitely below Part 5.
Yeah.
I think Part 5, Part 2, and Part 4 are above it, and I think. This is a really confusing way of explaining. I think it's better. It's only better than Part 1 and Part 3. I like it better than Part 3, but just slightly. Just because I like the plot more. The stand users are worse, though.
It's weird. I think I have like a weird, like kind of same level between 3 and 5, where some of some of the stand battles I think stand battles in Part 3 are a lot better.
Yeah.
But I think the villain, because Dio's Dio, and like you don't get much detail, but Preachy has like that interesting backstory and everything.
Yeah,
but,
he's
like,
a really cool antagonist.
I don't know. It's kind of right. They're kind of right there. Like 1, 3, and 6 are kind of below, and everything else is kind of like higher up.
Mm-hmm.
Where like yes, but like it's just not much. And like Jolene's not like not one of my favorite Joe stars.
Yeah, she's very uneven.
Like
she's a little rough.
And we rank these by JoJo's in their part, so like Jojo would be higher if he was like if I included his Part 4 and Part 6 stuff, but like
I feel the same way.
But yeah, like Josuke and Joseph are just Giorno are just better in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Where like it's just my ranking system is just not really high. Where like Part 7 is like my max, on characters and villains and everything.
Yeah. Which I've started, and I like Part 7.
I'm glad.
It's pretty good.
I can't wait to talk about that one.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one.
So, yeah, any other thoughts or
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I mean, it wasn't
Would
bad.
you recommend parts, like, be someone to be excited to get someone excited about Part 6?
I think there's a lot to like in Part 6. There's a lot of characters that are good. There's a lot of fun things. It's the kind of thing that, like, it's good if nothing's spoiled for you.
Yeah.
Because things like Green Baby that's a really cool one. As we were saying, Jailhouse Lock is a really good one. There's some awesome like stand battles, but the ending is really like
bittersweet.
It's really bittersweet, and it really is hard to
if you're a fan of the other parts and like
if you've made it this far,
yeah, you made it this far. I mean, if someone read part 5, would you motivate them to go to part 6, or would you say just go to part 7?
I would tell them read part 6 just because it's really good to see Jotaro again.
Yeah,
it's really fun to see that stuff.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I kind of recommend it. I mean, it's JoJo. You gotta read it. I mean,
yeah,
if you're gonna read
JoJo.
it, you're gonna read it because you're gonna force yourself through this. But just know, part 6 does slag on a little bit on certain fights.
It does. It is kind of a shame that it is like kind of it's kind of necessary because the ending is so important for what happens.
Yeah.
To the universe of JoJo.
Yeah.
It's also cool seeing Dio and like a character is fawning over Dio again. I really did like.
Always gotta bring Dio back in a way.
That's my biggest gripe with JoJo.
Well, part 8, Dio hasn't. Any form of Dio has not appeared. Or alternate universe Dios.
That's a relief.
So. Yeah. All right.
Well, that's really it. Part 7 or part 6 was fine. Nothing great. Nothing terrible. It was very middle of the road.
Yeah.
It's fun to read JoJo.
I mean,
it's a fun read.
Yeah, we had so much fun talking about part 5 in this
Yeah.
You guys had a fun ride in part 5, and you had the part 6 that kind of slags on a lot. But all right. So next time, our next spoiler episode, we'll do part 7 when you finish that, which you're like a quarter of the way through.
Yeah.
So Johnny and Gyro's Bizarre Adventure. So.
All right. This has been Jim.
I'm Sam, and you can follow us
on iTunes and YouTube as the Neoncast.
Yes, or the JoJo. Like, what does JoJo have to do with this? With cats? Just Bastet was in part 3. That's all you need. And there's cat grass. There you go.
And cat grass.
We're close enough.
All right, so I guess that's it.
All right. That's enough for JoJo Talk for one day.
Yeah, so just follow us if you want more spoiler casts. We're eventually going to do part 7.
Mm-hmm. And then maybe part 8 will be...
I think we'll wait until part 8's done.
I'll be caught up to date on that one, but yeah.
All right, well, I was Jim.
I'm Sam. Thanks for listening.